What's going on, Vintage World? My name is Marcus. I'm the owner of Vintage Vibe Studios, where I make digital products to help graphic designers design more efficiently. Here's my credentials. In today's video, we're going to create a 90s inspired concert tee from scratch. Let's get into it. I wanted to do something different, and normally I do like a hip hop type design or a rock design, maybe even something from the 80s that would be pop oriented. Today, I'm challenging myself to do something that, number one, I've never done before, and number two, is not a genre that I really listen to on a consistent basis. I know of the artist, but I wanted to do something that I'm not normally around. So today we're gonna do a Jimmy Buffett 90s t-shirt inspired design. So let's jump into the computer. I've got a basis of my background, and I kind of want to use this as a focal point. We're gonna build around this. Not really sure what genre of music Jimmy Buffett is. Folk, I guess, maybe. You let me know in the comments. Is it folk? Is it like pop? Whatever it might be. Let's bring in this picture. Kind of like, because it's a nice kind of straight on shot of Jimmy. I'm gonna size that up right about here maybe. Bring back in this photo here. This is kind of, I guess, iconic for Jimmy fans with the, I guess, the parrot head thing that he does. So we'll go ahead and use that. I'm gonna put this slightly behind our focal point. Actually, we'll size this all the way up. We'll let that take center stage, if you would. And then the last photo is one of Jimmy that just, he's chilling. It's kind of hard to be mad when you're listening to like type Jimmy Buffett type music. I'm assuming, maybe, is it like reggae? Is it, I don't know. We're gonna clean up all of these images, but I kind of wanted to put my elements in a position where I have an idea of where I want the design to go. So what I thought I might do is we're gonna grab our background, and I just had an idea that I wanted to do. Let's size this straight down, and we'll use these as like little areas to outline or highlight these other photos. Again, this is something that we're doing on the fly, kind of from scratch. So let's see where this takes us. We got kind of our composition done and out the way. We can kind of start working on our border and everything that's kind of around it to fill out the design itself. So the first thing I wanted to do, get some titles in here. I'm on a trip very shortly to Oahu. So I wanted to make this kind of a Hawaiian theme to pay kind of homage to that. So we're gonna put some Hawaiian elements in here. I'm gonna size this up, do this here. This will kind of sit right on top of this. I'm gonna grab this and angle this for this side of the graphic. Now, if you notice, I'm kind of stretching this out so it fills out this side of the rectangle. And all I'm doing is holding down the shift key, grabbing this anchor here and pulling left to right so that I can move and size this up. I'm gonna use the same font. I'm gonna duplicate this. Now I wanna change this health vector just a smidge. And I think I wanna use light. We're going to size this up, and we'll do this one more time. We're gonna make this for this side. Make this a little wider. Gonna make this a little closer together. So I'm gonna change my kerning and bring my letters in a little closer. So we'll go -50 on that. I'm gonna make this a little smaller. So we're gonna duplicate this. We're gonna go 95. Nope, it was 92. I think he did a tour there in 92. And this kind of gives it a little authenticity. What it kind of gives it the authenticity is when you start adding dates. Maybe you've got tours of the city that are on there, maybe the venue. Those are the little elements that kind of set things apart, other than just having cool graphics and some other surrounding and supporting elements. Think of what makes this stand out, or what makes it kind of specific. People go to concerts because it's a specific city, or a city they've never been to, or a venue they've never been to, or something like that. So think of adding those little elements when you look at doing a concert tee. So we got this. Now we've got some elements to kind of make this and tie this shirt in together. I want to do something a little different with the name of the city. I want to change that and just kind of break up how it looks. An easy way to do that is to change the fill. So you can take the fill all the way down to 0, then double click on that layer. And what we're going to do is just add a stroke. So let's do color white, and let's do 4. That looks right. 3 will work. Okay, I like 4. So I'm gonna bring this in a little bit to the middle, so there's not so much of a huge gap, and I'll bring him over a little bit too. And I'll bump this up a little bit, right about there. And then we'll put one more thing underneath, and let's do the stadium. I believe that's the stadium. And we'll change this again to like a Helvetica light. Now that I've got my composition all together, I've kind of laid everything out. I want to start cleaning up the picture on the left, the picture on the right. What I'm going to do is maybe, remember I'm making this from scratch, do something in the background as well that will help the two pictures stand out and give it a little pop. Let's start with this picture. So I'm going to do this the easy way. For time's sake, I'm just going to go in and grab a brush, a nice soft brush. Make sure that my foreground is set to black, and we're going to get in here nice and close. I'm simply going to brush this away. Want as much of Jimmy showing as possible. I've created a layer mask, and I'm just brushing away inside that layer mask. That way it's not super destructive whatsoever. And then we're going to do the same thing over on the other picture. I've got my picture highlighted, that layer. We're going to come down here, create a layer mask, make sure that I'm in that layer mask, got my brush, my foreground is set to black, and we're just going to go ahead and brush all of this out. Now that we went ahead and brushed all of that out, I want to do something and maybe put some graphics possibly behind these pictures. So I know what I want to use, and I've had this kind of in the background, in the wings, if I can say that. So I want to fill this out with this. I don't know what you think. I've got a nice little tribal back here. Might want to change up the color. Come down my color overlay. Let's change this to like pink. Or maybe we grab this color out of his shirt. There we go. That's a little better, you think? Let's use what's already in the design, right? And then this is my right triangle, rectangle, my bad. I think we're gonna do the exact same thing over here. So I'm gonna duplicate that. And we'll just drag this over here, and we'll make sure that this fits. Again, brush, we're gonna come in here, I'm going to brush this out. There's one more element that I wanted to bring in to kind of set this off. Hopefully, I think it'll set it off. And that is, of course, the tiki statue. Can't have a Hawaiian design without a tiki statue, right? So let's go ahead and bring that in. We'll size this up. Now, this tiki wants to go behind everything. So I'm going to lower the opacity is I don't want the tiki statue to be the focal point. So two things I'm gonna do. Number one, I'm gonna desaturate this. So while I'm on that layer, Command or Control U to bring up my hue and saturation panels, and I'm simply gonna take the saturation out, maybe a little bit. Nice faded like that. I don't want this to be the focal point. So now that I've taken the saturation out, I'm gonna lower the opacity so that this is in the background, right about there. So now that that's all behind everything, I wanna do something now with the typography. White is okay, but I think I'm gonna do some color, some pops of color here and there. Let's see if we can draw something out of the design itself. So I'm gonna double click onto the layer, come down to my color overlay, and that's not half bad. Let's say we stay with that, and I'm gonna do a small stroke, and I'm gonna change that color to like maybe the color here. Let's make this stroke on the outside, and then lower that. Actually, let's do this stroke on the inside, so I got a little separation, and then go back to this yellow stroke. That's not too bad. So we're gonna do the exact same thing with the buffet. So an easier way, instead of trying to duplicate everything that I just did, if you're gonna use the exact same dimensions, is to copy and paste, right? So let's get into this layer. I'm gonna right click on my layer. I'm gonna come up to copy layer style, and I'm gonna go to my buffet layer. You guessed it, paste layer style. So now I have the exact same thing. I don't have to worry about, oh shoot, is everything the same? So now we just need to be concerned about the bottom here. And I actually want to merge these two together. I've got my name of the artist, I've got the tour, I've got the city that it was in, as well as the stadium that it was in. So if you wanted to do something and maybe add distressing and stuff like that, you can feel free to do so. I would grab all of my layers, put those layers into a group, grab a favorite brush or whatever it is you wanted to use, then create a layer mask, go inside that layer mask and do all of your distressing. This is gonna be pretty much the design. I ask you, should we do something to the bottom? Should we include the same color overlays? Maybe a different color overlay? Something like, let's do a color overlay. Let's do maybe like a green. Or should we do just a yellow? We do that. We're gonna do the same thing with the tour. Right click, copy layer style, come down to your other layer, right click, paste layer style. And that way I know that my colors are the same. A really quick rendition of a 90s inspired concert tee. I chose to do something outside of my wheelhouse. Like I said, normally I do a hip hop shirt, or I do an R&B, or even top 40 from 80s, 90s. Doing a Jimmy Buffett makes you think outside the box. As I look at this design, there's a couple of things that I would change. Let's go into that layer. We can go into our layer mask, make sure that we got a nice soft brush. Our foreground is set to black, and we can kind of paint this away. All right, so now that we have all of that done, if you see anything that you don't necessarily like, take the time to change those. This is the first time I've ever done a Jimmy Buffett, or in the comments, let me know what genre of music that would be. Is it folk? Is it, it's not reggae. It's, I don't know. Beach music, drinking music, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what genre Jimmy Buffett is. If you're looking to start your graphic design journey, I've got a free Vintage Vibe Studios starter pack for you. You can get a ton of stuff in it. There's textiles, there's patterns, there's design info, a ton of information. I know from experience how difficult it can be to try to navigate all the noise when it comes to starting your graphic design journey. I'll leave the link below. It's free. Go ahead and check that out. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.